Leggera. Perfect. Welcome everybody. I'm just going to put that we are live. Let me see. Give me a second, friends. All right. So, hello, good morning, everybody. This is a nice early stream. 7 a.m. here in California, everybody. It's been so it's bright and early, but got stuff to do today, so I wanted to knock this one out. So, we're gonna be doing a build I've been sitting on for a while. So this is my Frog Mini Leggera. It's basically been sitting without a build, and we're gonna be doing a really cool 60% build for this particular board. Another board I just kind of highlight, I'll do doing some proper photos, is my Frog Mini Passante. This thing is ridiculous. It's like getting a workout to try and move this stinking thing. But here's my Frog Mini Passante build, which sounds just so good. So we got yellow Alps in this one. So yeah, so that build's sick. So really happy with how that one came out. So really good one. I'm gonna put that one to the side. That one's heavy, but this is the original Leggera, and much lighter. This is made out of aluminum, whereas this one's made out of full brass and steel. So this is aluminum with the copper weight that I kind of scuffed so it can patina over time. So really cool board. So I'm really excited. So we're gonna do a really cool 60%. Let me go over the parts. So we're using a Steezy PCB that I got from Apple T. So Apple T is based in Sweden, and I think he makes a really good and really solid production tray mounts H60 pattern Alps PCB. So this is a really good PCB. So it's the Steezy 60% Alps PCB. So one thing that's really nice about this also does have RGB underglow. So if you do a board that has polycarbonate bottom, you can have that awesome RGB effect. I usually turn it off because I don't usually do polycarbonate builds. So but this is a really good PCB. I really enjoy working with it. I've done a ton of builds with this particular PCB, and it's always been fantastic, and I've had really positive interactions and experiences with this particular PCB. So, so it supports a wide variety of layouts. So I'll put the PCB to the side. That's something we're going to be working with. And then we're going to be using, again, an aluminum plate that was designed by Careless and then cut by Tom over at Hype Keyboards in Canada. So really good. So let me kind of open this up. Tom is a friend of the channel. As I always say on stream, if you see me doing a build, especially an Alps build, plates are coming from Careless. They're going to be cut by Tom over at Hype. So this is this is our aluminum plate. For my Alps builds, I really kind of prefer aluminum plates. That's kind of the original material that was used in original Alps keyboards back in the day. So I've always been a fan of aluminum plates, but I think just for the purposes of what I like to get out of my build, aluminum is the way to go. So we're going to be using some pretty unusual keycaps today. So that's going to be our plate. So we'll put our plate over to the side. But I want to go over keycaps. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a Macintosh build. So these are keycaps from a original Macintosh keyboard, an Apple Extended Keyboard M0015. I actually did do a restoration a couple weeks ago on an Apple Standard keyboard, which is the model M0116. So this has orange Alps. So I actually got this board in a lot of keyboards to harvest for parts. And when I saw this keyboard, I just thought, this is so clean. There's hardly any yellowing on this. I tested the PCB and it worked. So I cleaned it up. I cleaned the keycaps. I cleaned the case. I did some restoration work on it. And then I also lubed the stabilizers. And this is a really great keyboard, and also a very low serial number, which is really cool. So, so we're going to be the keycaps we're going to be working with today are from this keyboard's bigger brother, which eventually I do want to get a really clean Apple Extended keyboard so I can restore it and have it be part of the collection, which is really cool. So we'll put this board to the side. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're using Macintosh keycaps. These Macintosh keycaps are really cool. Now, if you want to do an Alps build with Macintosh keycaps, you really only can do a 60%. Because the bottom row, they take a special plate The bottom row is non-standard. Apple did a kind of a weird kind of bottom row, so you need a special plate to use Apple Macintosh keycaps. And because the way they designed the keyboards, you can't really use an F row, unfortunately. So these really only work in 60% boards. And I do have a board that I have been helping kind of design and kind of helping contribute and putting the right people in contact with each other. That's going to be an F rowless full size. That's going to be going on Group Buy probably later this year. So that's a board I'm definitely going to be putting Apple Macintosh keycaps on, but you're really kind of limited to really a 60% or an F rowless type of board if you're going to do an Alps build with these things. But you do need a special place. So Apple keycaps are awesome. I've done several builds with them. I've done a couple client commissions with them. They're fantastic to work with, and they're really, really high quality keycaps. Let me just kind of show you all these keycaps. So these are dye sublimated PBT keycaps. So they're very high quality. So since they're made out of PBT, that doesn't mean they're going to yellow over time. These keycaps are 40 years old. I did my restoration job of getting all the dirt and grime off of them, and they look essentially brand new. And also, in addition to being dye sublime, these legends are never going to wear off even after 40 years of use. And they're also very thick PBT. So these are very high quality keycaps. I mean, these keycaps were from an era when Apple probably made the best keyboards they've ever made. I mean, just to kind of pull my Apple standard keyboard out again, like this and its family of keyboards from the 80s and early 90s are probably the best keyboards Apple ever made. I mean, the keyboards Apple makes today are garbage. I mean, if you get an iMac or an Apple desktop and you just throw the Apple keyboard in the trash, it's garbage. Get a proper keyboard. Like, these are some of the best keyboards Apple has ever produced. So, so this is also a tray mount 60%. So the mini Leggera. So we're gonna put this case to the side because we're actually not going to be using that until kind of the very end. So we're mainly going to be focusing on doing our stabilized keycaps first. Also switches that we're going to use. So we're going to be doing a linear build today. So we're going to be doing green Alps. So we're going to use Alps SKCL linear Alps switches. These are also on the lighter end of Alps' switch line. So they're only about 50 grams of actuation force. Most Alps are going to be about 70 grams in terms of actuation force, with some outliers being like orange Alps, which are 60 grams, and then amber Alps, which are 80 grams. So these are the lightest of the Alps family, but they're one of three linear switches that Alps produced during their production run. So again, my Frog Mini Passante has yellow Alps, which are a little bit heavier at 60 grams, which are really nice. So this is a really cool build. I'll doing some pictures. I built this on stream a couple weeks ago. I just got that, but I didn't build it with keycaps because I was waiting on a specific keycap set to come in. So you can see my, again, Mini Passante looks pretty sick. So I love how that build came out. So for this one, we're going to be, again, working with the plate. So we're going to get out 5 green Alp switches because we're going to be doing our stabilized keycaps first. That's kind of my methodology and approach to working with Alps. I like to do my stabilized keycaps first. Before we do that, let's get out my stabilizer parts. So we're going to start off with our clips. So we're going to get our stabilizer. We're going to put in our stabilizer clips first. So we're going to so I got a ton of Alps stabilizer parts on hand. So we are very good. So let's get our clips out. Let me grab my spudger from my tools, because that's going to help us do this. Perfect. Awesome. So one thing with Alps, they are plate-mounted stabilizers, to kind of use Cherry MX terms. So these are really Alps things. They actually are a very simple stabilizer design. You essentially have the clips on the plate, you have the wire, and then you have clips that go under the keycaps. That's pretty much it. And it's also for the space bar, some like times the big ass enters, they'll kind of be the stabilizing posts. But for the most part, Alps stabilizers are very simple. So, and they're very easy to work with. And the one thing with Alps stabilizers, just like stabilizers in general, you want to make sure that you properly lube these stabilizers. These stabilizers, if you do not lube, rattle horribly. That's just kind of the way they design. So you want to make sure you lube them with like something like 205G0, just so they sound really nice. Because yeah, stabilizer rattle, especially with Alps stabilizers, is not good. And you want your stabs to sound really nice. So that's what we're going to do right here. So we're going, putting this one in. Perfect. Awesome. Get that one going in. And then we're going to do this one. Perfect. Awesome. And then we're going to get a couple more of these clips in here. Awesome. And then we'll pull out our wires and then our keycap clips. So looking pretty good. Awesome. All right, let's see. No, those are 2001. Here we go. Let's get out a spacebar wire. Yeah, no worries, my man. Thanks for jumping on. We got some other peeps who are popping in this morning, so it's all good. So we're doing an app. I know it's bright and early, dude. It's way too early to be here on stream, but I got crap to do this today, and I want to get this build done. So this should be hopefully a quick one. It's a 60%, and hopefully these switches don't die on me. So that's all we're going to be doing. So we're just getting wires out right now, just making sure we got all of our parts for these, and then we should be good. But yeah, now we have folks, and I mean we had the VOD from last night on too, so that uploaded last night. So audio was being stupid for like the first like 5 minutes. I was trying to figure it out. We got it working. So we got those pieces. I also gotta get my 225. There we go. Gotta get my 275 wire out. So we're doing that for our right shift. Yeah, but this is a fun build. I really love doing Macintosh builds. I mean, the build I did for Chester up for Keybait Tech in Canada. That's a really big wire. That's a little too big. So give me a second. Just trying to get one of these right shift wires out. There we go. There we go. So good times. Yeah, this is a pretty early build. So yeah, we got the Passante build here. Oh my god, it's built finally. But yeah, Passante is built. So we got the Passante and we're doing the Leggera this morning. I have no, honestly, I think let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 Alps builds. And I think I think realistically in the pipeline, I only realistically only want to add like 2 more modern builds. That's going to be an F188 from Geon and F284. Other than that, that's pretty much rounding out because I do have a couple boards I could convert to Alps, like my Tomo or like my W1AT. I really don't want to convert those. I like them how they're built Cherry Mex. So other than like 2 more TKLs, F165 I don't think will be able to be converted because 65% are kind of weird because you have these non-standard keys for the navigation row right here. That's unless you're using DCS or like Taihao, it's really hard to find compatibility there. So I don't think the F165 will be converted to Alps. I'll probably keep that Cherry MX. But realistically, there's only 2 other builds I want to add, realistically, are going to be those. But those are older Geon boards, which I'm not in a rush to get them. Like F284s, F188s, I can find all day for like sub $500. So like I'm not in a rush to get them. So I'm just trying to find now my clips. So yeah, so like overall, I think literally just want to add 2 more Alps builds. And I've had joked like I would love to do a neon green build one day, but it would be like a true end game Alps build, like because that would probably be a several $1,000 build to do, just because most of the cost would be the switches. So yeah, the 65%, the only 65% that's been made for Alps is the AO3 Lunar, which uses Apple. It's designed to use Apple keycaps, but it has a 65% navigation row. It's really weird, and that's also extremely, extremely rare. Like the AO3 Lunar, I would love either one of the Lunar boards, but they're so freaking hard to find. Like everyone who has them knows what they got, and they're not selling them. Like Careless had one, but he was asking a fair price because it was fully built, but he was asking like $1,000 for it, and I'm like, I really don't want to pay $1,000 for it. As much as I know that his price is fair and Careless doesn't rip. I've bought a lot of stuff from Careless. He doesn't rip me off. Like he's fair, but like that was just a little much for what I wanted to spend. Because I would much rather get like a bare bones Lunar and then like build it myself. So like Careless was asking what he was because he had like super rare Alps switches in it. Like he had amber Alps in it, and they were fully restored. Everything was built up, and like so he was charging a fair price. I just really wasn't gonna like like do that. You can find an AO3 Polaris like $500 to $600 if you can find one. But they're so rare. Like there's only like, I think of the Lunar 1 and Lunar 2, they only made about 100 units each, and like the people I know who have them are not selling them. Like that's the part that just kind of sucks with it. Like they know what they have, they're not ever parting with them, which sucks because I would love to have one. Exactly. Like and again, that's like, and I'm experienced enough where like I want to build the builds myself. Like I absolutely get that mindset. Like I'm gonna do it myself. Like if I'm gonna spend that much, but like I said, not everyone is crazy like me. Sorry, I gotta find my graveyard of 2U wires. Look at all these 2U wires. Look at this rat's nest of 2U wires. All the boards I've harvested. So I gotta find the right 2U wires. Okay, that's one of them. I need 2 more. So yeah, it's a rat. I mean, all these wires tell you how many boards I've harvested. But mind you, I try to pick like dead boards. But yeah, so like I think that's like the big thing is you just want to like especially with like really cool boards like that. I want to do it myself and like again, an AO3. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, this is just like they all just like stuck together. I mean, so I have a healthy supply of Alps stabilizer wires. Like it's a pretty decent hoard. But I mean, I literally just say, I mean, when I harvest like an Alps board, the things the main thing are the switches. I also go after the keycaps and I also save stabilizer parts. So because they just come in so freaking handy. I mean, especially when you're doing like boards like especially when you're doing boards with like original keycaps, like Apple keycaps. I just like when I'm using original keycaps, I like using original pattern keycaps. Give me a second. Yeah, all the stab stuff can be reused. Give me a second. I have to answer this text really quick. Sorry about that. All right, now I gotta put my rat's nest of. I think I'm gonna get a bigger bag for my 2U wires. Give me a second. I gotta put these away. Yeah, but the stab stuff can be reused. Overall. Give me a second. I gotta. Awesome. Thank you, friend. Awesome. One of my friends had a question, so I was like. Yeah, but stab housings definitely can be reused. Sorry, I just had to get... Alright, I'm going to turn my ringer off. I just wanted to be aware of that. So let's get a bigger... We're doing a bigger bag here. Just so I can get these all in there. There we go. Perfect. There we go. That's a better bag. There we go. That's much more appropriate for my rat's nest. There we go. Cool. Let's put the rest of these ones in here. But yeah, like I said, I save... Like when we're doing I harvested 2 boards last night. I harvested that set of amber Alps I showed on stream. And I also harvested more white Alps. So that was really cool because that's where these keycaps came from. That was the board I was waiting on. I found it on a good deal on eBay for these keycaps and the board was on them. These came from an FK 2001. But most FK 2001s have a split right shift, and I don't like split right shift. So I like a full right shift. I am weird. So if I can put a full right shift on a 60% when I can, I will. That's a whole other can of worms. So we got our stabilizer parts, perfect. So let me put my spacebar stabilizer right here. So, but yeah, overall it's a lot of really good stuff with this build. I mean, this is basically a carbon copy of what I built Chester, which is really cool. So let me just kind of dump my keycaps out here. So we need our space bar. I need my right shift, left shift. I need my backspace. And then where's my enter? 0. Wrong enter. Perfect. Awesome. Put these keycaps to the side. Yeah. So like what I do for function, I essentially set it to right Windows key. That's what I like to do. I don't know. The only time I do I like split right shift is going to be on 40%. Like split right shift on 40% is really convenient. But like if I'm doing a 60% or like a TKL, I want full right shift. It's more of an aesthetics thing. In my muscle memory, I've always programmed it. Like if I have wing keyless, I'll do it on right control. Because when I use control and alt, I'm mainly using left control and alt. So like I really don't use right control and right alt. Yes, we are doing AEK keycaps on this particular one. So we have these AEK keycaps. So I got the plate. So this, so yeah, just a heads up, if people do want to use like old Macintosh Apple extended keyboard keycaps, you need a special plate, because the thing that's weird about these, Apple wanting to be special, they don't use a standard bottom. They don't use a standard AT101 bottom row. They use their own proprietary bottom row. So the space bar is 6.5. So it's not a 6.25. And then your modifiers are really, really weird in terms of how it goes. So they essentially use like 1.5 for like control and alt, and then the Windows key is a 1.25. So it's its own proprietary bottom row. So that's why I always tell people, these are really amazing keycaps. They're very high quality. The entire set is made out of high quality PBT, but their space bars are made out of ABS. So that's why the space bar is yellow. That personally doesn't bother me. I think that's part of the character and the charm of these keycaps. I mean, my F18X has a silicon granite keycap set, and the spacebar is hella yellowed and it looks awesome. So I think that's just part of the charm of those keycaps. So we're just gonna I'm just kind of putting these other parts on these keycaps. Oh yeah, I know they look weird. The side profile is weird. I know they have that weird curved one. I don't know why they did spacebars a different material. I would probably have to ask someone who's probably a little more knowledgeable on Careless's server, because there's some people who are like really knowledgeable. So yeah, Kelvin, I know there's the weird profile. It does. I've done a few builds with it. I always let the clients know like the under profile of them is kind of weird. It's never bothered them, and it doesn't bother me. I think people really, because honestly, you're looking at the board top down most of the time anyway. So you never really grab the board. You grab your board and like do that. And like, oh yeah, let's look at the board. Let's look at the board that way. We're gonna look at it that way. So it's top down. So you never, unless you're just like picking up the board, you see it. But like the clients I've done it for, like Chester at Keybay Tech up in Canada, I did him basically the exact same build I'm building today, and he freaking loves it. It's on display in his keyboard shop right now, and people obviously are loving it. So yeah, but ABS spacebars, I don't know why Apple did that, but a lot of other companies did. Like a lot of other keycap manufacturers back in the day would make their spacebars out of ABS. I don't know why, and they'd make everything else out of PBT. Maybe it was just I don't know. My assumption would be maybe because, oh yeah, because they couldn't make big keycaps that way with PBT at the time. So there we go. So it's a technology limitation. So they couldn't make big keycaps like this at the time. So they're probably just more limited by their manufacturing process. So. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I think it's a really cool one. So yeah, thanks Kelvin for that clarification. So it's really cool. So like I really enjoy these Apple keycaps. That little stabilizer is this post is a little loose. I want one that's a little tighter. So I really like them. So like I love doing 60% builds with AEK. They're fun. Like really fun boards to do. I just want to find one that's like tight. That'll do. Cool. So yeah, so I really love doing these keycaps. And again, one of the boards, I have a custom JO2 at my Cerakote guy that we're gonna put AEK keycaps on. So I got the a JO2 AEK plate custom made from Careless, and then Tom is I already have it in hand. I'm just waiting for the board to get back from Cerakote, and then we'll build that in stream. That's for my super high end client who ordered 2 other builds from me. He ordered a Geon Frog with orange Alps, and then a Geon F18X with green linear Alps. So that's his third and final build. So he's a really cool client. It was actually a pleasure working with him. He's been super understanding that Alps take a long time, and I told him my Cerakote guy is probably going to take a few weeks because he has a backlog of stuff. So we're just being added to his calendar. So when we get that JO2 back, it's going to be amazing. Like that's going to be way more custom than even my JO2. All right, so we got all the parts on them. So let's put my keycaps in. Sorry, my switches in. So these green Alps are really cool. So these are really nice linear switches. So I love green Alps. They're a very underrated switch. You know, everyone, I think with Alps, I think their best switches are their clickies and their tactiles, but I think their linears are awesome too for what they are. So like yellow Alps. I also got some cream linear Alps, and of course I have my yellow Alps build. This will be my green Alps build, and then I got some cream linear switches from Careless this past week. So those are going to be really sick eventually when I do a build. I'm probably going to do one of the other, probably my F184, my F188 that I'd eventually want to get with those. So that'll be really nice. So we're going to do some lubing with 205G0 on these stabs. And then we're going to get this going. So really cool build. I really enjoy just Apple keycaps. And I also just like old vintage Apple stuff. I think it's really cool. I mean, like I said, I'm going to keep shining this one. This is my Apple standard keyboard that I fully restored. This is fully operational again. And this thing is awesome. I love this thing. And I do want a proper Apple extended keyboard, but I've been kind of on the lookout for an AEK that's really good condition, because most of the AEKs I get are just kind of clapped because they're cheap, because I'm literally going to just harvest them for parts. So I've been just kind of scrolling forums and eBay to find an Apple extended keyboard M0115 that's just super, super clean. This one I got in a lot of boards I was going to harvest. And when I saw this board, I'm like, oh, I got to save this one. This is so nice. So, and also it's a very low serial number, which is why it had orange Alps. So, yeah, so it's really good. So, let's get these going. So, we're going to lube my clips right here. And then, that's a little too much. There we go. So, we're going to get our clips lubed. This should be a relatively quick build. I mean, last night's build was really quick. We did the 8K frog, which was awesome. So, I just posted that on my page, and I also just put it on Reddit. So, definitely go give the 8K post some love. And I also put the VOD for the 8K, the Frog 8K build we did last night. So the VOD is on there. Just an FYI with the VOD. The first 5 minutes, the audio cut out. For some reason, I was having issues with my microphone connection. So I'll probably go into YouTube Studio a little later on and just edit, just probably cut the first 5 minutes out of that, just so people aren't dealing with that annoyingness. But yeah, so it's been really good. And like I said, I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just a guy. I just like sharing with the community. I'm never going to claim to be a proper content creator or things like that. This is not my day job. My day job is actually just being a school teacher. That's my day job. So I'd rather stick to that. Is my main thing. So I'm just doing this for fun. And but it's been fun meeting people, and also doing the custom commissions for people. It's really nice because I really love sharing Alps and encouraging people to do Alps builds. Just the kind of thing with Alps, it's very intimidating, especially if you don't have a lot of experience soldering and harvesting switches. So that's the commissions have been pretty cool for me, because I'm able to people have been reaching out to me instead of me reaching out to them. They see my posts on Discord and Reddit, or they've seen the VODs or stuff on Twitch, and people say, hey, I'd love to have an Alps build. So I'm pretty reasonable. Again, I'll essentially, when I do an Alps build, I'm basically going to charge you cost of parts plus a little fee on top. I'm not going to rip you off on the cost of parts. It's basically what it does cost me, and then I just have my commission fee that I throw on top of it. I'm not trying to rip people off or anything like that. But again, my time is worth something. Again, Alps are a labor of love, and there's a lot that goes into these switches. So they're extremely time consuming, especially the restoration process on these switches. You got to harvest them, you got to desolder them, you got to clean up the pins, you got to disassemble them, you got to ultrasonic clean them if a client, and we also got to lube them. So it's a very involved process on getting these switches back to usable condition. When I'm done restoring switches, they're usually as good as they were back when they were made back in the day. Because usually most of the time the boards I like to go after when I harvest Alps are pretty clapped, because they're the ones that most people kind of pass on, and they're really cheap. Or I've been going to sometimes I'll frequent Goodwill stores or just thrift shops, and I might get lucky and find an Alps board and their bin of hardware that says $1 or junk free. So because the thing that's really kind of sad too, I've been telling people with Alps, the supply is slowly drying up. I mean, the thing that's really kind of sad is the vast majority of Alps keyboards were destroyed. They were when they were kind of phased out in the 2000s, the late 90s, 2000s. Most companies just threw these things away. A lot of them were not saved. So the ones that we see, those are the ones that were lucky enough to be saved. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'll tell you people what I charge on top of parts. I literally just charge $100 on top of parts. So it's parts plus $100. That's one thing I do. It's literally just so I'm not. This is very much is a passion project for me. Even this is a personal build, but I also want to like I enjoy doing these builds. Like this is my hobby. Like this is what I do. Like this is one of the things I do in my free time for fun. Like I love building keyboards. I've always loved like building things. Like when I was a kid, I was really into Legos. So I've always enjoyed, like I've also into woodworking from time to time. So like I love doing stuff with my hands. I love building things. So like it was just kind of cool to like be able to kind of spread that love of building keyboards, like really advanced keyboards, to people who may be a little more novice. Like one of the clients I built, he's actually local to me here in Los Angeles, and he's going to be at Keeb Life, and he said he's so excited to take his Alps build to Keeb Life, which is really cool. So I told him like I cannot wait to see his build. Like his build was awesome. He was my client who I did Black Alps with the KBD Fans 461E red case, and I did FK 2001 keycaps, and he loves the board. He absolutely loves it. And he was on a really tight budget, so that's why we went with Black Alps, because Black Alps are like super, like they're dirt cheap. Like I can do it. Like I mean a set of Black Alps restored, I charge like $30 to $40 for. So they're a really affordable switch, and a lot of people hate Black Alps. I have my Black Alps in my AO3 Polaris, and they're awesome. So yeah, I just tell people, if you want to do a commission, and again, it's just the cost of parts. I'll give you a clear parts breakdown on what I literally just charge you what it costs for the part and plus the shipping to me. And then usually depending on what board the client wants, that'll really depend. Like in most cases, if you're on a tighter budget, I recommend doing a 60%, because it's less switches and keycap sets are a little bit easier, especially if you go to like Taihao or like OG keycaps. But if you want to do like a TKL, that is going to be a little more expensive because we're dealing with more switches. And yeah, dude, it's all good, Naveed. We'll see you around, my man. We'll see you on Discord a little later today. Have fun with the wife, dude. But yeah, it's like overall, I think it's a really good time just with these overall keycaps and whatnot. So it's really kind of cool. So like I really enjoy doing these commissions for people. And again, I'm doing this for fun. Yeah, it is a little nice to like have extra $100 here and there. But I mainly just do this because it's fun. And I like spraying. I think everyone should have an Alps board in their collection. And if I can help make Alps a little more accessible for people, that is awesome. Because a lot of the people who have been doing these commissions, like some of them are experienced. They just aren't comfortable with like the work that goes into Alps. I mean, especially with the restoration. These are very involved builds. Especially when you're dealing with switches. So one thing I'll tell you with Alps switches, if you want to do an Alps build yourself, make sure to get more switches than you need. Because one of the things when we start installing the switches, we're going to see it. There's the part that has the pins that you solder to the PCB, that's called the switch plate. And I've been harvesting at this point probably a few thousand Alps switches and done a ton of Alps builds. But I'm seeing a high failure rate with those switch plates. There's parts in those switch plates that just corrode over time, and it's really unfortunate. So you're definitely going to want to get more than you want, because you're going to have some dead switches even after you do restoration. So like what I've been doing recently with Alps is I've been looking for dead boards and acquiring those dead boards specifically for parts. Not to harvest switches, I'm literally just harvesting them for parts, particularly switch plates. Because I want to have those on hand to make sure, so I'm not dealing with dead switches. Oops, I lubed the wrong, that's my backspace. So that's a big thing. So again, this one today is a personal build for me, my personal collection. But yeah, overall, like Alps, like if someone's interested in, or someone who wants an Alps build and is not comfortable like just doing the labor of love that it is themselves, like definitely reach out to me. Again, all my handles are like all like right here. So I really enjoy doing it, and I love talking with people and just kind of showing them how much fun Alps can be. Give me a second. There we go. Awesome. There we go. We got my delete. Thank you, Apple. Let's do my left shift now. Add some more lube to that really quick. Perfect. So it's a good time. But yeah, I'm really enjoying just this kind of journey I've been going on with Alps. And the thing I said on stream last night, I got into Alps in April. Like, it's just very recent. I just kind of gone all in head first into Alps and just kind of gone straight to like some of the more end game builds and whatnot. And my goal is to have like a modern Alps build for every major switch type. And I have a couple original boards that I do want to restore. So I do have some restoration projects further down the pipeline. that we'll be doing later this year. It's just some of the parts need to be recoated, repowder coated, because they're rusted to all hell. So that's just going to be expensive, and that takes time, and also just sourcing specific parts I need for those. So, but it's going to be, we have some really cool Alps builds coming up in the future. And who knows, maybe a neon green Alps will eventually happen, but I don't think I'm ready for that big of a financial commitment to like commit like that much freaking money to one specific Alps build. Because again, like to do a neon green Alps build would be prohibitively, I don't even want to think about how much that build would cost. I mean, the switches alone would be probably like $2,000 to $3,000, which I'm like, holy cow, that hurts my soul. Like, I mean, I have some boards that are like in the like 4 figures, like my Kohaku or like my Matrix Labs 100 NG, but that's all in, all built, and that's maybe with a little bit of an aftermarket value of the board. But like, just the switches being like $2,000 to $3,000 that's just wild to me. But they're definitely a unicorn, definitely a thing. So. Eventually, but that would be like if I did a neon green Alps build, I'd have to do it in like a full size, and it'd have to be like a true end game Alps build. Like it would be my true last Alps build I'd do from like my personal collection. So, okay, we got the return. Let's do this. The shift right here. Cool. All right, let's get some lube right here. So, but yeah, we're overall having a good stream, folks. So those of you who've tuned in this morning, thank you so much. If someone's in another part of the world, maybe afternoon or evening, welcome. But here in Los Angeles, it's 7:30. It's bright and early today. So good times, good times. So let's get this right. Oh, gotta lube that wire. Give me a second. Yeah, so we're just adding this lube here. Again, I like to do my stabilized keycaps first, just to make my life a little bit easier. Cool. All right, let's put this one on. Oop, didn't get it right. Perfect, there's that one. And then we get to do the almighty spacebar. So, good times. So, we're going to do our spacebar. Let's just do our poster right there. Like, add a little bit of lube there. Cool. Let's add it to my clips, and then I'll do my post, and I'll add the wire. Cool. Got that. Let's get my wire lubed up. All right, wire's lubed up. All right, I think we're good. Got all of our wires in here. Pretty good, friends, pretty good. Let's put my lube away. I think we'll be good. Let me see. That's good. Perfect. All right, friends. We are good. So let's get our PCB out. Let me put the rest of these keycaps back in the bag, and then we're going to start doing it. So this is going to be a good one. So really excited for this build. I've been so hyped for this one. All right, let's put put our keycaps back. There we go. All right. Awesome. Let's put those to the side. Let's get our PCB ready. And I'm gonna put my Passante a little further back. Let's fire up the soldering iron. Perfect. Let that warm up. Awesome. All right, let's get everything lined up on our PCB. Looking good. Awesome. Looking good. All right, let's flip this upside down. Let's get my solder wick out. Just want to solder these switches in. Just kind of hold everything down and then we'll test them really quick. Awesome. All right, we're all warmed up. Let's get these. Let's get my vent going. And let's lube these ones in. Solder these ones in. Okay, give me a second. Cool. Get those in. All right, let's get the rest of these soldered in. Perfect. All right, let's put those away. Got our stabilized keycaps soldered in. Perfect. Awesome. Look at that. So let's just grab our little USB. All right, let's grab where'd my mouse go? There we go. All right, let me see. Let me get VIA out because we are a VIA. This board is a VIA. There we go. Let's go to my lighting really quick. Cool. All right, I just want to make sure I have this programmed correctly. So, give me a second, friends. We're just. All right. Perfect. All right, we're just programming some stuff right now, so just give me a second. On stream. All right, Control. There we go. So yeah, so we're doing this one. And then let me get my layer set up. There we go. So making sure we're looking good. Yeah, everything looks good right here. So let's just do a quick switch test on these now that we're programmed correctly. Perfect. All right. We are fully programmed correctly on this one, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to close VIA right now. Awesome, everybody. So we're going to keep going. Let's put in some more switches just to kind of hold everything down. So I'm going to do the rest of the mods in the bottom row. My escape. And we'll get this one going pretty good. There we go. Let's get our tab and our caps lock in here. Perfect. All right, let's put these bottom ones on here. Perfect, got that one. Let's do this side. Perfect. So we got our little bottom row right there, looking pretty good. So we're gonna do those and just kind of hold them in. So let's get my vent going again. Let's get the rest of those. Do these ones over here. Cool. Cool, those are done. So let's do this bottom really quick. Cool. All right. So that one down. Cool. All right, we got those. Let's just do a quick little test on those really quick. And then we'll put in the rest of the switches and solder those in. I just like doing these ones. Just kind of hold everything in place. Let's just kind of minimize my little switch tester. Give me a second. There we go. Give me a second, friends. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now let's reset it. Give me a second. I gotta go back into VI. So it's not doing what I need it to do. Give me a second, friends. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so this switch right here is not working. So let's pull that one out. So we have that Alps. So let's get my solder gun out. Fun. So we're going to get the desolder gun out. That's this is my workhorse tool right here. So let's warm this puppy up. Let's get my temperature dialed in. Perfect. So we're going to do this switch right here. So yeah, good stuff. So we'll be out of here probably the next, like, I'd say like 30, 40 minutes. Just want to get that switch taken care of. So let's let that wait till that red light's all heated up. There we go. It's not sucking anything. Give me a second. I have some issues with my Hacko. I'm on stream. What's up? Alright. Hold up. Warren. Give me a second. Let's see if we can pull this one out. Yeah. Alright, there we go. So that sucks. So we have a switch that wasn't working right. Alright, let's try that again. See if we can get that one in. There we go. Okay. Let's try that again. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, got those in. Perfect. Let's try this again. Alright, we're good. Let me just try one other thing. I just gotta check really quick. Give me a second. I'm gonna go X out of VIA really quick. I want to try one last. I gotta do one more thing, just verifying. Okay. Oh, this one. Wait. Okay, give me a second. I think I have another switch that's being weird. Okay, this switch also is not working. Okay. We need to do another switch. This Windows key isn't working either. Alright. But pull that one out. Alright. So another switch is being funky. So, and that's why I tell people, again, you're going to have switches that are going to have faulty switch plates. So, just want to be prepared for when that happens. So, this is just part of this is part of why Alps are a lot of troubleshooting. So, all right. Perfect. All right, let's try that again. All right, we're good. All of our switches that have been installed are good. So I'm going to go back into VIA and just double check my programming really quick. Okay, we're going to make that. Okay, now. Okay, we're good. All right, let's put the solder gun. Let's put the solder gun away to the side for right now, and then we'll put that one on. Cool. All right, so let's do the rest of our switches and get those installed, and then we're going to solder them in, and then we're just basically going to troubleshoot. Figure out which ones got to be replaced, which ones do not, which ones are good. So we're going to put in the rest of the cluster. I like doing just kind of the perimeter, of course, my stabilized keys. That just makes life a little bit easier having those done. So this should be a relatively simple build. Alright, so we're putting them in. So look at those green Alps as they are coming in. Look at that, friends. That is awesome. I love me some green Alps. So give me a second. All right. Coming through. Oh, we have someone's coming in. Yeah, I mean, Vala, you are correct, but I'm also like a glutton for punishment. And I'm also lazy. Well, I guess lazy is the right one. Yeah, I definitely need to invest in like a proper multimeter to kind of test that. But for now, this method is fine for me. Like, and also it's just kind of fun. I mean, I am a glutton for punishment, so it's fine. But yeah, Val, thanks for jumping on, my man. It's really fun. This is one of my personal builds that I'm doing, so we're just kind of getting those in. Just checking a message on my phone. Someone was texting me, so get those in. But this is one of my personal builds. It's gonna go. This is one of my 2 linear builds, but they do sound scratchy, and they're also pingy. I mean, that's where we get the name Ping Master. Like, these switches ping like crazy. Like, if you listen to those, you can hear that spring ping. I mean, that's just kind of part of the charm of these. Yeah, well, they're definitely scratchy. Even with lubed, like even when you lube these things, they're scratchy, and I think that's just part of the charm of linears. Even my yellow Alp build is like my Passante build with yellow Alps. I mean, the linear Alps are just scratchy. But I do like linear Alps. So yeah, I should get a cheap one. I'm just super lazy, but I will eventually get one. But for right now, this methodology for me is fine. So we're getting those in. We got one more, and then we're gonna start soldering these puppies in. So this is one of my personal builds. The case it's gonna go in is this Frog Mini Leggera. I've been sitting on it for a while, which is really cool. Just because I wanted to do an Apple build, and then I also got the copper weighted grit. I scuffed it up and took the coating off because I want this to patina over time. So like with our fingerprints and all that crap. So should be good. So let's get these all soldered in, and then we're gonna start testing switches. So pretty good stuff. So let's flip that around. And we'll get my vents going, and we'll get these ones going. So, perfect. Let's get some solder wick going. Start soldering these puppies in. Sweet. Let's start off with the middle. Cool. Getting them going. Alright. Cool. Yeah, I mean, greens are weird. I have a metric crapload of them on hand. So, like, I have a nice, healthy horde of green Alps. So, like, I mean, this is going to be my only personal build with green Alps, but it's mainly for client builds. It's funny enough, like, the client builds I've been doing, a lot of people want green Alps, like, linear green Alps. And I always clarify, I say, I want green, and they say, like, hey, I want green Alps. I'm like, do you want the linear ones? Do you want the tactile ones? There is a big price difference. And thankfully, they always, everyone I've asked, I've done client builds for, says linear, because I'm like, I'm going to, like, I would legit have a heart attack if I had a client who said, I want neon green Alps. I'm like, okay, are you willing to pay for them? Would be my next question. Because, yeah, that ain't going to be cheap. Because there's a reason I haven't done it for myself. Let's put it that way. So, perfect. Okay, those ones are held in. Alright, let's go to the top. I just like doing those, just gonna hold it in the middle. Alright, got that one in. Yeah, I imagine you can't get them. I mean, that's the thing I was saying earlier on stream too. Like, I've been stocking up on Alp stuff because the supply is slowly drying up. Between like people who are like people throwing boards away, people harvesting, and like the Alps hobby, or people who are like snatching up boards for like their collections to restore. Like, the supply is slowly drying up, and I only got into Alps this year, but I imagine pre-COVID, there was probably even more Alps stuff out there in the wild that's dried up. So that's why I've just been stocking up on stuff. And when I see a good deal on like eBay or like in local marketplaces, I like snatch it up. Because I never know if I could use it, like if something breaks or I want replacement parts. It's just hard to get that stuff. So, like, that's just kind of the thing with it. So I've just been stocking up on stuff. Oh, I have another bot. Yeah. Oh, I have another bot in it, yeah. Oh my god, I wish like orange and blue Alps were that cheap. Yeah, it's like 30 but it's 20 to 30 bucks for neon greens, which I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate that they're that freaking expensive. Because I also got a set of brown. I've actually got my first set of brown Alps recently, and I got them restored. I'm saving them for a special build that we're gonna do later this year. But I just wanted to have my first set of brown Alps. I need another set to do the board I need because we're doing a full size for the brown Alps. But those are like $4 or $5 a switch. So like, but like honestly, I've heard some people say like if you like spring. Oh, I know, yeah, 30. I mean, yeah, I know like 20 to 30 bucks a switch is crazy. Yeah, it's weird. Like neon greens I heard aren't that great because I was talking with Careless and he said like. If you spring swap, if you properly lube like brown Alps and like spring swap them, they're better than green Alps, which I don't disagree. After I restored mine, I'm definitely gonna spring swap my brown Alps. I'm gonna talk with Careless and figure out what springs I should swap in, to get a really nice feeling. But those brown Alps are nice. I see why people like them. Like they're really freaking awesome. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think neon greens. I think there were just people on the internet who hyped them up, and they just kind of exploded into these things. Yeah. So. Yeah, the neons are cool, but like I would I don't know, man. Maybe one day, but not anytime soon, for sure. So we got that number row. All right, we're just kind of going through, getting these puppies soldered. Hopefully we don't have that many dead switch plates on these today. So I would preferably like to get out of here in the next like 30 to 40 minutes. So. All right. Working through. Yeah. I mean, I love the brown Alps so far, but like I have about, I think that I got one 5140. So I mainly wanted it for the keycaps because I'm putting the keycaps on a GSKT00. I got the plate made from Careless, and I got the missing keycaps I was missing. But the brown Alps are going to go in a full-size board that I've Careless and I have been helping out with. So that group buy should be opening up later this year. It's the QFRL 100. And I want to put my brown Alps in that, but I need a second set of brown Alps. So I'll probably buy another 5140 to harvest probably later this year. I mean, the one I got it for a pretty good deal. I know Careless has a couple of units, so I'll probably buy a couple of Careless's 5140s. Yeah. Well, it's just that tactile bump, that fake switch plate that they have in them that make for the tactile bump. That's a really nice tactile feeling. Like I really like. I think for the money, I think orange Alps are probably my favorite, but I think the best tactile Alps are brown. It's just browns are pretty expensive. I mean, $4 to $5 a switch is nothing to slouch at. So they are very price hit prohibitive. And again, like I said, like you have to get. They only come from a couple of boards, and those boards are like 60% form factor. Yeah, that's essentially what I'm planning on doing. That 5140 I harvested, I'm gonna probably put new switches. I'm probably gonna put like Matthias cookies in it, and then just sell it again to recoup some cost. I know people in the vintage computer hobby freaking love the 5140s. So. So, almost done, and we got one more row, and then we'll start testing these stinking switches. Yeah, but yeah, Matthias, honestly, like if I'm gonna like put a board for back into circulation, like an Apple IIc, like an Apple I harvested an Apple IIc the other night, but that thing was destroyed. I mean, Vala, I was scrolling eBay like earlier this week, and I saw an Apple IIc with Amber Alps, like the A2S 4100. The guy was asking like $100, and it was clapped. It was in horrible condition, and I'm like, I snatched it up immediately. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm definitely, when I resell those, definitely gonna be transparent. Like the switches were swapped. Oh yeah, I would never be a dick like that. I would mainly I wouldn't want to go to like someone like us who's like an Alps, like wants it for the Alps. They are more vintage computing for the computing history. So, but no, I got an Apple IIc for like dirt cheap. The board was dead, but the switches were fine. So I harvested those last night, and I'll be ultrasonic cleaning because those switches are in pretty rough shape. So once I'm done with them and I get them lubed up and whatnot, they'll be good to go again. But I wanted to stock up on Ambers, so because that's probably, I mean, I love Blue Alps, but something about Amber Alps I really, really like. Yeah, so like I'll show you my Ambers. Where the frick are they? So yeah, I got this set of Ambers last night, and they're in pretty decent shape. But the board was fucking disgusting. And if you want to check the VOD from like last night, It's on my YouTube channel. Like it was gross. Like the board was absolutely disgusting. It probably had been outside at some point. It was really, really bad. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Careless is the freaking man. Like, he's definitely my connect for PCBs and Alps plates for sure. He's been amazing. Like, what the work that Careless does for like modern Alps conversions is like amazing, and the fact that that's not his like regular job, this is a side gig and he does for fun, is just crazy to me. Like, we need more people in the hobby like Careless. Like, he's an awesome dude. And if I ever find myself in Philadelphia, I'm definitely hitting Careless up, because I definitely owe that man a beer, for sure. So, yeah, next time I find myself in Philly, I'm like, drinks around me, Careless. So, and it's funny because I don't drink anymore, but here we go. Alright, that should be all of them. So let me just wipe off my tip and let's start doing. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, the board, the 2C that I got was, like, there was probably no saving it. Like, the PCB was, like had so much water damage. I mean, the switches are fine, and if I have faulty switch plates, I have a metric shitload of switch plates now on hand. So, like, those Amber Alps are going to be back to working condition. No worries. So, there we go. We got them all soldered in, everybody, so that's pretty good. So, let's just test them and identify what switches I got to swap out. So, let's grab my... There we go. All right, let's open up my little switch tester. Come on, Via. You being stupid today? There we go. All right, let's turn off the sounds, please. Thank you. Backspace is good. I'm going to test the keys I know work already. Perfect. Okay, those work. Let's do my numbers. Number 1 doesn't work. Okay, yeah, not good. 2 is good. 4 doesn't work. 5 is good. Okay, let me get a little. Let me make some notes because I want to write. Okay, let me make some notes. Okay. So 1, 4. So I'm just writing these down just so I don't forget. All right, the dash. Okay, so I got 3 in the top row that are weird. We're gonna have to replace. Q. Q, W, E. Okay, Q, W. R is good. T is good. Y, U. Okay, I. Letter I is being weird. O is good. P is bad. And then P. So Q, W, I, and P in my second row. S is bad. D is bad. F is good. We gotta do G. H. Okay, good lord. I do not wash the switch plates. But I've just been having a lot of issues with green Alps lately, and it's been really annoying. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like, what's up with Green Alps. Like, again, like, oh, thank you, thank you, Reddit. I don't know what's, like, I've been having a ton of issues with Green Alps in particular. I don't know why. Yeah, I might test them out. I'm probably going to touch these switch plates to the side. I mean, mind you, I have a metric shitload of switch plates on hand, so. And let me do my last row. So, God, that's a lot of dead switches. God damn it. X is bad. Damn it. C is good. V is good. B is good. N is weird. M is bad. Good lord. And then my comma. God damn it, that sucks. I have a lot of problematic switches on this board. So, yeah, that sucks. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, that's also my part. Yeah, that faulty rate is insane. I also go after boards that are kind of clapped. Because they're usually a little bit cheaper. But mind you, I have a metric shitload of Green Alps on hand. But yeah, we have a decent fucking list to go through of switches, so this is gonna be fun. Yeah, but I mean, I've been most of my Green Alps have been coming from Z170s. Now, with the Z170s, I've been saving the chassis because I actually am gonna be restoring those with some PCBs from Alec Tardy. So I have a bunch of Z170 chassis in my closet. I have like 5 or 6 of those in my closet. So I've saved the chassis and the keycaps and the stabs because I want to put Alec Tardy Z170 PCBs in them. Or sorry, Z150. Sorry, Z150s. God damn it, I can't do English today, everybody. All right, so let's figure out what is messed up. So we have our 1. Let's get that 1 out first. So we have our 1. We got to do. Yeah, so I've I have a bunch of Z150 chassis I'm going to be restoring. Probably reselling or just passing along to people in the hobby. So I'm working with Alec right now. He's getting a batch of those in probably in like September. Oh yeah, I love this, but that's where my Green Alps are coming from. So I don't know if maybe I'm just getting ones that are clapped. I mean, that's usually what I do. So that might be my problem, but it's mainly Green Alps. Cool. Give me a second. Okay, let's pull that switch. Where the frig is my little spudger? Give me a second. There it is. Let's pull that one out. All right, there's one that's messed up. Yeah, okay, so we have 1. We want to do 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 4 we got to pull out. Give me a second. We got to this thing needs to heat up a little more. But yeah, I'm really been frustrated with Green Alps lately, so. And it sucks because, I don't wash the switch plates at all when ultrasonic cleaner. So it's really weird. Yeah, so it's one of those just kind of weird things that I have been experiencing lately. So, yeah, okay, so it's that one, and then I have my dash. So that one, second one in from my backspace. Perfect. All right. Let's get our other ones out. Okay, so Q. So I have 4 in the second row. So just those 3 on top that were faulty. So you want to go to Q and W, I and P. So let's do Q and W first. Okay, let's open these up. Let's put these ones down. So yeah, this is what makes these builds take frickin' forever. God dang it. Right, let's get these, let's pull these out. Cool, got that one. Yeah, so I just pull them out. There we go. Awesome, let's pull this one out. Perfect. Awesome, pulling those parts. That one needs a little more. Cool. Alright, let's pull these switch plates out. Yeah, so it kind of sucks, these switch plates, but I'm just going to dump these parts in here. Yeah, so that switch plate failure rate really sucks. But, hey, it is what it is. Let me grab my pliers, pull this one out. So that's the part of this is just a pain in the ass. Okay, so we got Q, W, and then I and P. So P and then I. Okay, this one right here, and then that one. Awesome. Let's get those out. So, yeah, good times, everybody. You get to see the troubleshooting and the crap I deal with on these boards. So, and again, I'll tell you too, this failure rate's only on green Alps I'm experiencing. I don't experience this on orange, blues, my other switches. Like, I'll have an occasional dead switch plate here and there, like you guys are saying, like maybe like 1 or 2. But green Alps, I'm just experiencing this insane high failure rate with them, and that's really unfortunate. So that's why it's just really fortunate. So I think for the future, once I go through the stockpile of green Alps I have, or once I get a multimeter, I could probably go through and take the time to like test all of my switches, my green Alps, and figure out what's going on. But it's really kind of annoying and unfortunate, just the failure rate I'm experiencing with these. Pull this one out. So there we go. We got that one. That one. Cool. Yeah, so it's been interesting. Cool. All right, so those 4 switches, 3 on the top, 4 on that one. So I have S, D, G, K, and then my semicolon. Fun. Lord. So definitely a fun time, everybody. So A was good. It's my S and my D. I'll start off with those first on this one. Yeah, this is the row that had the most faulty switches. So there's that one. So S and D. We need G and H. So that's S, D, F, G, and H. So yeah, so 1 over. So these 2 in the middle. Okay, got those. And then K, G, H. So K. And then from K, my semicolon. And And let's just do the bottom row as well. So my X is bad. And then N and M. N and M. And then it was my comma. Perfect. 3 in a row. Perfect. Holy cow. That's a lot of switches we got to pull out. Fun. So S and D. Let's pull these puppies out. And we're dealing with that. Close that one. Come on. You get to watch me struggle install these people. It's fun. This is the part of the builds that take frickin' forever. Alright. And then this one. That one, and then we have X. Cool. Okay, X, and then we have N. These 3. Cool. Getting there, buddy. One more. Cool. Alright, those are our faulty switches. Holy cow, that's an insane failure rate. Pisses me off, but hey. I gotta just pull these pins a little more for one other one's being stubborn. Where the heck is it? There we go. Alright, cool. Let's pull out these bottoms and then let's figure this out, friends. Holy cow. Yeah, that failure rate That is awful. But, hey, it's part of what I've experienced with Green Alps, so I'm very jealous of Kelwin and Vala for having better rates than me. But you guys probably go after nicer Green Alps boards than me, so. So, curses, that's on me for cheaping out. But the nice thing, once this board is built, I'm never taking it apart, so. All right. Whew. There we go. All right. Good times. All right. Let's try this again. Just going to do this top row first. See if that helps. So, yeah, this is the troubleshooting part, friends. It's good times. Hopefully these work. Alright. Got that top row in, so I'm just going to test the top row first. Alright, let's get the mouse. Now let's gotta get a bigger workbench, I swear. Alright, let's open up my switch tester. Let's figure this crap out. Okay, this tilde, I mean the dash, faulty still. So let's pull that one out. Hopefully get another switch. Just pop one in there. Let's solder it in. Yeah, Kelvin, I'm like very jealous, so. But, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I have a good, healthy stockpile of Green Alps and also just Alps Switch parts, so I'm not too worried about it. And again, this is going to be my only personal Green Alps build. So, once I get this one built, I'm never doing a personal build Green Alps again. Alright, we're good. So, top row is good. I'm just jubble. That letter U is being faulty. God damn. Having some other switches that are acting up now. It's all good. Part of the process, everybody. I'm trusting the process as we go. Yeah, I mean, I've desoldered probably a few thousand switches at this point too. So it's been a fun learning experience, like doing all the desoldering and whatnot, and the harvesting. We have a Green Alps. They're a switch I really like. They've been really annoying me lately, unfortunately. So it just kind of is what it is. Let's get this. Pull the switch plate out. Yeah. Let's pull these out. So this has been really irritating dealing with the failure rates I've been seeing with green. Sweet. All right, let's go to this next row. So we got to put in quite a few switches on this one, but cool. All right, let's do this next row at the top. Okay, where's my soldering iron? Perfect. Yeah, but this is the part that's very frustrating. But hey, I love doing this stuff, so it's fine. It's part of the fun of this for me, to be completely honest. But again, once I get like a multimeter, that should be able to kind of help solve some of my problems. But for right now, this is my method. So, like I said, I am a glutton for punishment. So, there we go. All right, we got those on. Got those soldered in. Let's try this row again. All right, let's plug her in. Let's go to my switch tester. P is still being bad. I'll reset this. Give me a second. So P is still bad. All right, so I'm gonna do P and this bracket because that's both of those are just being faulty. So it's okay. We are trusting in the process, everybody. So this is part of why I do this on stream now, is so people can kind of see this kind of the involved process with these little buggers. So it is a process. Alright, let's get that. Let's get that. Why isn't that coming out? Come on. There we go. Cool. Alright, put some more switches in. Kind of going row by row as we do it. All right. Got them in. All right, let's try that again, friends. Let's try that again. All right. Good times. I'm just really checking these switches. I don't want to have to work with Green Alps for a personal build ever again. Cool. All right. All right, let's do our next row right here. So we're gonna do the ASD row. So we're doing this next row right here. Okay, enter is good. Quotations, my L is solid, J is good, and my F is good. All right, cool. Press F to pay respects, everybody. I'm pressing F to pay respects, everybody. There we go. All right, next row. Hold up. There we go. All right, so let's do this next row and hopefully that gets going. So, all right, let's do this. Cool, what was that one? Cool. All right. Got that row soldered in. Let's see what we got. All right, let's reset this. All right, so A is still not working. S is still not working. D is good. All three of these are busted. God damn it. G is good. H is good. J is good. K is still busted. Semicolon's good. Okay. So K. So ASD and K. ASD and K. God damn it. Okay, let's do the AST. ASD is all messed up. Okay. Lord. Let's do ASD first. Don't worry, I have a metric shitload of these, boy. Alright, Kelvin, take it easy, bud. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, this board will be posted on Careless's server, so you'll get to see it. The VOD will be on YouTube. Alright. Cool. And then K. So 3 in. Okay, cool. We gotta do K. All right. All So again, we are just going through and doing our dead switches, so it's fun. Give me a second. Cool. All right, we're gonna get there, everybody. We're gonna get there. All right, fun times, everybody. Let's do these 3 first. All right, got those 3, and let's test those first, and then we'll worry about that one. All right, let's reset this. Okay, D works. A and S are still effed up. That's not fun. Okay, let me just go grab some more greens. Give me a second. Look at that, friends. We have a lot. See, I told you I had a lot. See? So. So let's just make sure we're good. Let's trade this one at least. Okay, let's get my solder wick. Let's put this one in at least. And then A and S got to be desoldered. Cool. We're getting there, everybody. This is a process doing this. So you get to see my for the part of Alps that kind of sucks sometimes. You're dealing with 40-year-old switches, and green Alps, for some reason, I keep having a high failure rate with these damn things. So it's really irritating. But so I want to see my K. Okay, that's good. So we just need to do A, S, and R, D. Okay, K works. We're good. Oops. Okay, let's get some switches. There's one. Let's do this. Okay, let's try the A and the S. So we're getting there, folks. We may have, hopefully these ones work, and then we have hopefully one more row we gotta do. Cool, let's plug that in. All right, it's reset. All right, I think. All right, good. We got hopefully got to do 4 more switches, folks. All these are work. We just gotta get these 4 other switches. Actually, I'm gonna check this last row again. Okay, Z is good. C, V, B is awesome. Okay, yeah, it's just those 4 switches. All right, cool. All right, let's check these switches. Give me a minute. All right. All right. All right. Hopefully, let's see. Hope these are the last 4 of these we got to do. Let's see. So, let's grab my soldering iron. Let's get these 4 switches soldered in. Again, those of you tuning in, welcome everybody. So, all right, let's plug this in. Let's see what we got. Okay, X works. That's awesome. We just need N is working. M is good. Oh, thank God, we're done. All right. Hopefully, I don't want to jinx it too far. We still gotta. Let me put these other switches away. Right here. Give me a second, friends. And just put these puppies away. Yeah, that's the failure rate. Look at all this was our failure rate. All these switches. So yeah, Green Alps have been really frustrating for me lately. So just kind of is what it is. So let me put my tools to the side. All right. All right, let me just go through this board really quick and really test these switches. I want to be very thorough in how I test these switches. These ones are all producing a good signal. Perfect. Perfect. Cool. All right. Board is good. So I'm going to put this puppy away. And we're going to get the case out. So let me get my case and also let me get my hardware for this one. Okay. Hardware. Let me get my bits for this one. We're going to need our tweezers and then yeah, perfect. All right, let's get 4 screws out. All right. Let's wipe this inside case down just so we're not be dusting it. Perfect. So my little frog Leggera. Okay, so let's put these in. Okay, just putting these in. Okay. I'm going to screw these in. We're just going to line up that USB-C port. All right, just want to flip it around, just get that port lined up. So, in a second, we're going to loosen these screws a little bit. Perfect. Lining everything up. I think we're good there. Pull it down. Perfect. Awesome. All right, there we go. So we are good. We are mounted. So there we go. So let's start putting keycaps on, and we'll do a little sound test. So I'll move my little mat. Let's get the rest of the keycaps out of here. Awesome, awesome. So that's letter D. Awesome. Caps lock. Perfect. Start putting our keycaps on. Looking really good. Awesome. This is pretty cool. I love these keycaps so much. One, two, three, four, five, six. Not using that, not using that, not using that. Other bracket, awesome. Question mark. Not using that, not using those. Using that one. QWERTY. Nope. Tilde. It's looking good, friends. Looking really good. It is starting to look like a keyboard. tab button. Hold up, I'm finishing up, almost done. Cool, we got our 5. Gotta find my letter L. Hold up. Almost there, friends. Your font's a little funky, so sometimes I mix up keys. Give me a second. Gotta look up something. Okay, I'm gonna put Control right here. Option, and then our Apple. Apple will go right there. And Control, and then Option. Just looking for my letter L. So give me a second, friends. I gotta look for that letter L. Where'd it go? That was really weird. Where's the letter L? Give me a second, friends. Huh. It's really weird. Set doesn't have an L. Is escape? What the? Give me a minute. That is so weird. What the heck? I have to go dig one out of another set. Alright, give me a second. JKL. Yeah, that's a 7. Alright, I'm gonna have to go dig it. Let me go grab a set because I'm missing an L. Interesting. Alright. Give me a second, friends. Alright, so I don't have an L here. So these are spare keycaps. I'm just going to stick them in here. Yeah, that's really weird. Well, I'm going to find that letter L. Alright, should have it in this one. I just gotta dig through them all. There we go, Lil. There we go, found it. Don't know why that set didn't have a letter L, but whatever. There we go, friends. All right, here we go, friends. That is that's our board. So using original Macintosh keycaps with Alps SKCL greens. So let me grab a cable because this one's weird with the port. So I'm going to use a very specific cable. This one, I'm going to turn my soldering iron off. We're done with that. All right, so just plug her in. All right, let's just do a quick little test really quick on my cool. Cool, we are good. Everything works. All right, let's do a little sound test and then we'll get on out of here, friends. Cool. Cool. All right, friends, we are good to go. So, oh, there is something I did notice. I put my O and my I in the wrong spot, but other than that, UIOP. We are good to go, friends. So here we are, friends. So thank you so much for those of you who tuned in the stream. This was a little bit of a weird one, but yeah, it's a good time. The VOD on this will be on later today, but my friends who tuned in, thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.